Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
What happens if some of the U.S. banks do them? I mean, it looks like they're going to implode, or they. What do you think? You think it's all factored in?
You know, not that I think it's factored in. In fact, I think that there's several more banks. I think Wachovia is on the ropes in particular. I actually had Wachovia way ahead of IndyMac, and way ahead of IndyMac for failure. And I think, Steve, one of my fundamental opinions right now about the market is that I think it could actually get a lot worse for banks before it gets a lot better for banks in particular. But it could get a lot better in terms of the Fed and Congress and the executive office, which is Hank Paulson. I think they've got 12 months of crisis under their belt going into August. And I think we're probably on the verge of seeing something quite substantial in response to all of these problems. That the problems may actually get slightly worse, but I think we're in crisis, not crisis aversion mode, because that's over. That ship sailed.
Yeah.
That ship is way gone. I think we're in the mode that we're going to see coming down the pike some significant reforms and some significant help for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, regardless of whether we agree that this is a bailout or justified or whatever else. I think this time, I actually still have like a smidgen of faith in Bernanke and Paulson that I think we'll probably see a significant, some type of reform and some type of crisis plan. Or we've already seen a lot of these implementations, but we haven't seen wholesale bailouts on the order of Bear Stearns as much as I think we might see them. And when Bear Stearns was bailed out and when they kind of came to the rescue, we did see a quick move in the dollar on the positive side. And I think we're on the verge of maybe seeing some of that. That if Paulson comes out and stands by Bernanke again or whatever, and we see a big response to this, I think the dollar stands to gain a lot from the confidence that comes from investors that say, oh, maybe we got it under control now. So.
Interesting. I mean, what I find interesting is that tar sands project up in Canada, it seems like the currency, I guess it made that move last year based on what's going on, because recently, no matter how high a price of oil moves, the Canadian dollar is not rallying any longer.
That's exactly what I think. I think people have started to imagine that it's a double-edged sword, that oil can go up and help the Canadian economy, but then oil can go up so far that it starts to affect the average Canadian, and I mean, like their economy, and you have the growth versus inflation battle. And America, the U.S. dollar already lost the battle. It lost every battle for the last 7 years. It already lost everything. But if there's
a strong, the administration believed in a strong dollar, what would happen if they thought we should have a weak?
Yeah, I don't know what they bet, strong Australian dollar or Canadian dollar. They never specified U.S. They never said strong U.S. dollar. I think actually we're on the verge of seeing that the growth problems in the Eurozone and Canada and Australia actually start to negatively impact the currencies. And second of all, I think that when you get the dollar as weak as it has been, and you get either Democrat elected, and I say that tongue-in-cheek, but I really mean it. I think you get either one of these guys in office, and you see a resurgence of American protectionism. I think you get Rush Limbaugh and you get the unions on the same side for the first time since maybe 1980, the recession, the Jimmy Carter into the Reagan recession, and you see somebody's going to do something with the dollar this low. You could see a significant resurgence in American manufacturing activity. So there's some things I think that we haven't seen for a long time that could be surprising on the horizon for America. And of course, the whole thing could go to hell in a handbasket, and we could all, the Eurozone could take us over. So I could be totally wrong, of course. And I hope everything works out. But what a mess! What a total mess in American manufacturing. We took the short-term view for so long.
What time frame do you like to look at for these opinions? Would you be looking, let's say, if you're really bullish on the dollar, you're looking going out 6 or 9 months in an option, or continually rolling these options if it doesn't work out? Because obviously you want to have a view.
Yeah.
Is that the way you'd look at it, Rob?
Yeah, 6 to 9 months, and then rolling it out. Yeah, absolutely, and not letting it.
Any other questions before we call it a day? Does anybody have any other questions? We had a nice crowd today, and definitely I want to thank Rob and Dave for joining us. Let's just give everybody another couple of seconds to type something in. One other question. Do we expect a big move in the dollar versus the pound? What do you think, Rob?
Can you ask that question again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Do you expect a big fall in the pound versus the U.S. dollar?
Oh, boy, that's the tough one. That's the one that's causing me the most difficulty right now. I purposefully did not talk about the pound dollar today.
Okay.
I don't have an opinion today about the pound dollar. I may have one tomorrow morning on traderradio.net.
That's fair enough. I'm going to definitely check you out.
Okay.
Every morning, or at least when I'm available, because that seems like a great way, and I'll be trying to send all the ISE people, because they're always interested in getting someone's views in the morning. So I really appreciate it, Rob, and I'll definitely be checking you out on the radio show. Thank you very, very much. Dave, thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward I'd love to have you guys back if you're available sometime in the future.
All right, we'll see you later.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, and thank you, everybody, on behalf of the International Securities Exchange. This is Steve Meisinger, your host, saying have a great trading day tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see you back next week. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
All right, see you.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.